All right. I'm going to wait to upload this because I see that Commander Brutus is still talking with some raid comrades in China, some Americans, or presumably Americans that are in China. Very, very informative. I like what I'm hearing. This and that. I hate to sound like a manager. I like what I'm hearing about you, boy, but I like what they're saying about it, and being a counterbalance about where China is. I mean, contrary to what you may think, I'm not a big brain dude. I'm not. I'm not a big brain dude. I don't break down everything that China does and oh my gosh, their productive forces are capitalistic and they have this and that. I was thinking about it because they did mention, and I remember seeing this on CGTN as well. Is this is excuse me, the idea of cryptocurrency and the use of a potential new cryptocurrency that that China could be using to kind of skirt the issue. I mean, to kind of see what's going on, so to speak. And try to adapt to the times, if you will. The same thing with Cuba. Cuba, as far as I know, I mean the what's the name? McAfee. The McAfee guy almost had Cuba doing cryptocurrency. But of course, they say, well, Cuba has, is turning revisionist and whatnot. And like I said, I talked about that with the cope that Jason Unruh said, what was it, like a month ago, talking about how, well, Cuba is going to sell out this and that. And Vietnam isn't this way. And then you have this interesting, flip around with, this. What do lefties really think about cryptocurrency? Because at least in my opinion, before I get really deep into this, I will say, as my initial bias, so I'll always take it with a grain of salt. I do have $10 in Bitcoin. Okay. And right now it is worth $9.15. Okay. As of today. Um, so yeah, I don't expect people to come, chase me down and whatnot. I don't have thousands and thousands of dollars in Bitcoin or in Ethereum or Dogecoin or Monero or whichever one out there. But a lot of people like it because it's not connected to a bank. That's the whole idea of Bitcoin, right? Or excuse me, of cryptocurrency in general. You know, and with Monero in particular, they don't want any pictures. That's the whole thing. It's like Bitcoin, they have to take a picture of your face. You have to have a driver's license, front and back. So they want to verify that. That way, everything's on the up and up. Because a lot of, because as it is known, a lot of the majority of transactions of crypto is because of, you know, illegal activities. We'll put it that way. So, it's still seen as somewhat unsavory, this and that. And of course, you had the what is it, the Silk Road and all that business, but that's old stuff. That dude's in jail, still coping. I'm not going to sit here but he's a lober. Come on. But anyway, but I have seen a lot of negativity from lefties about cryptocurrency. They're just like, oh, we don't like crypto. We don't like it. I'm just wondering why is that? It's like, I understand dab on the lowbirds. Yeah, absolutely. I get that. But it's like, a lot of folks are just being realistic, saying, are you going to hold on to the American dollar as it continues to lose value? For the upcoming inflation, the continuing of screwing over, your family and, whatever's left of the U.S., I don't know, man. That's what I don't get. It's like, bro, why do you care about all that sort of thing? I mean, that's my view anyway. I don't get it, to be honest with you. I don't get it. But yeah, it's just very silly to me that lefties are so upset about cryptocurrency. It's like, why not take advantage of it? Instead they're just like, well, I'm this is going to be a continuation of my rant from yesterday, but it's like, well, China, you know, since the dangus and whatnot, and they they have these factories with suicide nets and whatnot, ignoring the fact that number one, some of that is from Taiwan. Number two, I believe that those are Amazon subsidiaries, I believe. Ignore that fact. I mean, you could go into, I'll even give people a bone a little bit here and say that, yeah, China, as far as I know, does not have free healthcare, this and that, but China or the Chinese people are doing what they've done for centuries. This is why they have this is why they hold on to very Confucian beliefs, more specifically, filial piety, the idea that you take care of your family. So if you meet a Chinese woman, chances are you're not just marrying her, you're marrying her whole family, you know? And so the younger takes care, the younger ones take care of the older ones. It's that simple. So in some families, but this is nothing new, is it? But they realize that, yeah, that the Chinese have been through many different systems, you know, whether they went from, you know, whether it's from the Qing dynasty, the Ming dynasty, the whichever, there was always a system where they took care of each other. And some of that is changing, et cetera, et cetera. But I'm just saying, in general, China has its own attitudes. And I think that it's something, once again, that I think Americans don't understand. Americans come from this individualist sort of idea of society. I hate using that word society because people have ruined it, but if I just did words that were ruined, then I wouldn't be speaking any any language. But the thing is that the U.S. puts its relatives into these retirement centers, which can vary between good and look at New York. That's all I can tell you. Look at New York State and get back to me. They're very depressing places. They are, in general, they are. And I think that, it just speaks to the different cultures of it. It's every man for themselves. The U.S., I mean, that's why I say, the U.S., or, what, what influenced Mob Deep, I'll put it that way, of what the U.S. is, and kind of like Ayn Randism in a way, is every man for theyself in this land would be gunning, right? Fuck the whole world, man. My money comes first. Out for the gusto and trust nobody. So I mean, that's what Mobb Deep is simply a creation of the U.S. God damn. Woo! I'm sorry. I just realized that was a. I wanted to shoehorn that in there, and I couldn't find a good way, so that's why I put. Because I do read the comments. I remember that there was, I think it was EP Monbo who was saying, can you make these streams a little less schizo? He's trying to be very nice about it. It's like sometimes you jump around. I'm like, yeah, I'm pretty schizo. So I do realize that, but I do, I wanted to shoehorn that in there some way. And that was a very lousy, that was very ham-fisted that I did that. But anyway, you know, going back to let's go back to the topic at hand, though. I think crypto, while I have my doubts about it, I think it wouldn't hurt to see where it goes and, figure out a way to make it work for you, and to diversify. Like I say, you shouldn't just have American dollars and then suddenly the US dollar collapses, and it's $1 is actually worth, one 1/millionth of a percent or something like that, of its original value, and you're moving wheelbarrows of money. I know, and don't worry, I'm not saying why America or why my republic. No, not saying that because we're far beyond that. But why not just try it? I'm not even. I know I sound like a drug dealer. It's like, why not just try it? Why not just try it, you perv? Why not just try it, you prude? I'm just saying is that it's interesting to think about, you know. And there's a lot of folks who just, they live in this time where it's just like, well, the Maoists are the real Chinese patriots, or the real socialists of the world. What have they done? And it's just like, what are you doing, man? But yeah, interesting points. I will be linking the video that they did, the stream that they had up, which I think would be very interesting to say the least. The of this stream that Comrade Brutus has with Red Comrades in China. I think this would be a very profitable or a very interesting debate. But yeah, that's my view anyway. I think that it would be very interesting, or not debate. I'm sorry, why did I say debate? But I think it would be an interesting video for y'all to watch and kind of get a clearer context of China. I think that there's a lot of folks who dislike China for whatever reason. But I don't really. I mean, like I said, China is what it is. I wish that China would work with the U.S. Or excuse me, the U.S. would work with China, and cut a deal, and make some better headway. But I know, imperialism and this. I know. Maybe I'm being too idealistic when I say shit like that, but it's like, what the fuck are you guys gonna do? Now that you've painted yourself into this anti-China thing, I mean, to me, it's just it's a slippery slope. When you go into that, that whole, well, actually, China is imperialist sort of mindset, in my opinion, but then still try to be, principled and say, well, yeah, screw the Hong Kong protests, and actually, there's nothing going on in Xinjiang, and it's just re-education. All right, okay, yeah, I agree with you on both those points. But it's just like, okay, then what are you going to do about it? Nothing. Anyway, I think this is pretty schizo, isn't it? You know what? I'm just going to leave it as it is. I'm going to wait for a little bit to put this up. Hopefully, I'll enjoy. See you later. Goodbye.